All right. Just getting this announced to people. All right. How's it going, folks? First off, we have a new patron, Kira Dean, earlier today. Thank you so much for becoming a new patron on patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. Appreciate the hopefully long-term support. All right. Hi. Kind of a interesting stream we're having today on Halloween. How's it going? How's it going, One Random Gamer and Fire Falcon X and PB? But why shouldn't you be out with your... What time is it there? It's 8:30 at night. My kids are in bed and sleeping. Trick-or-treating ends at 7 p.m. We were done about 6:30. We had been trick-or-treating since like 3 because there's trick-or-treating downtown at 3. From 3 to 5, and then we came back to our neighborhood from 5 to 7. 6:30, came home, bath, get ready for bed. They still have school tomorrow, so it's not like they're going to stay up super late. Anyways, they're long sleep. My fiance is upstairs sleeping. She has the flu. My other kids might be sick too. Not really 100% sure. Won't know till the morning. I'm not sick. Lonely maybe, but not sick. I don't want, like, lonely's not really right. It's more so, I wasn't going to stream tonight. I don't know if you guys heard. I'm sure you guys have at this point because I said it at the beginning of a video this week. I also said it, or at the end of a video this week. I also put it on a community post and I put it on Twitter. My grandfather passed away yesterday. So, like, sitting alone doing work, sitting in my own thoughts, with no distractions is usually exactly what I want to do when I'm working at Nintendo Prime, right? Like, I want to be by myself, everyone leaving me alone, me focusing on making content. The problem is now when I'm alone and focusing on stuff, at least for now, my mind starts to wander into the depths of my grandfather. Anyways, so... I decided that instead of me sitting here and going off and on crying all night, I mean, I hope I don't cry during the stream. If it happens, it happens. It is what it is. But I figured you guys could actually help distract me and keep me company tonight as we talk about things. So you're Midwest. Yep. Sure. Wisconsin. All right. Let me see what some people are saying. K-Boom says Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone else. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Halloween. I haven't watched any horror movies or anything today. I'll probably check one out before I go to sleep. Something more recent that maybe I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of them. So let's check out something a little more recent that's new to me. Let me see here. Yeah, it seems like people do it way earlier nowadays. I remember like 10 years ago, going out until like 9. When I was a kid, we were out till like 11. Granted, trick-or-treating ended at 8. But, so like it's only like an hour earlier now than it was when I was a kid. But we would just keep going. As long as people left the lights on at their house, we would just keep going. So, and what was nice when you hit all those houses between like 8, 9, and 10, like 8, 10, and 11 is you would always get to the houses that, one, they forgot to turn the lights off, so they're like, oh, and then they just dump all their candy in your bag and shut off the light. So, like, the last, doing it, an hour or 2 hours after it ended was always when you got the biggest haul. So, I used to also try to set records when I was a kid trick-or-treating. How many pillowcases could you fill? There's actually a record in my hometown and then the town over. And at one point, I owned the record for both. It was crazy. It took a lot of years of me sorting out what are the best neighborhoods, because you want either neighborhoods that have neighborhoods that have a lot of lights on, and then you want neighborhoods that either give you like handfuls of candy or neighborhoods that give you big candy bars that fill your bag up faster. The ones that give you, like, you might have a whole street, right, where all the lights are on, but if each one just gives you one little sucker, you can actually do better on a street that only has 2 houses, but they each give you big handfuls. So it takes a lot of research and years to figure out which house gives the most candy and which neighborhood, and getting all the logistics of that sorted out. And I eventually owned the record for the most candy in one night. Now, the candy had to be obtained within the actual scheduled hours of, like, any candy you got before, any candy you got after didn't count. It had to be within the hours of trick-or-treating. And I owned the record in Chippewa and in Eau Claire at one point. But it's been long surpassed. So I don't even know. I think the record, when I was glancing at it this year, not that I can set the record, I'm an adult now, but the record last I checked was something like 14 pillowcases full of candies, like the record in like both places. So yeah, that's not going to be me. I mean, I was happy when I set the record when I was a kid, but focus on me. What's up? Sorry, we're here. Yeah, it's tough. I know some people are going to be wondering if I'm going to be live streaming the Super Smash Bros. Direct tomorrow morning. It is morning. I think it's at 9 a.m. for me. My current response is yes. I plan to live stream the Super Smash Bros. Direct. Ideally, I want to full screen it and use a green screen behind me and just be down in the corner. I don't know if I'm going to make that work, but that's the plan. If it doesn't work, then I don't know. But I plan to live stream it. Probably start a half hour before, go a half hour after. Or actually, well, it'll probably be a really long live stream because you'll have the 40 minutes of the actual direct, and then there's Nintendo Treehouse Live right after. So I kind of want to stream all throughout all of that, and then maybe do a reaction video after it's all done and just talk with you guys throughout the Super Smash Bros. Direct and the Treehouse Live stuff about all that. That's my plan. That's what I want to do tomorrow. Obviously, that means the stream could be 1, 2, 3 hours. However long Treehouse is going to be going for, I don't know. I know there's at least 40 minutes for the direct. Treehouse might be another 20, could be another hour. I don't know. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. The thing is, my 2-year-old or my 3-year-old is going to be here. My fiance has the flu, so she ain't going to be watching them. So I'm trying to work out something. I probably I was thinking of seeing if my mom could take Ollie in the morning, and if she can't, then he's either going to appear here during the stream, and then I won't be using the green screen because I can't be in a back corner room. I would need him to be in here, and might get annoying because he's going to talk, and I don't know. He's going to do kid things because he's a kid. Or I might try to put him on an early nap, which is hit or miss. Especially that early in the morning. Depends on when he wakes up. If he wakes up at 5 a.m., I can easily get him to nap by 8:30. But if he doesn't wake up till 7, then he's not going to nap at 8:30. So I'm kind of trying to figure it out. I don't really have any concrete plans right now. But hopefully I can get my mom to take him for a little bit tomorrow morning. And that's the solution I'm hoping to lean on. I would know right now. I tried talking to her about it today, but obviously with the death in the family, finding the right time to ask my mom for help is a little iffy right now. But heck, I'll shoot her a text right now. She's probably already asleep, knowing my mom. But I'll ask her. Let's see. I'll ask her if she can watch Ollie from like 8 to noon tomorrow. Or she could take him all day if she really wants. I don't know what her plans are. All right. That being said, let's get into the chat. Remember, if you have questions for me, be sure to @Nintendo Prime me. You know, that it highlights your comments and all that stuff. You can obviously super chat or donate. Yes, I am doing shots tonight. Don't know how I'm going to react to the alcohol. I'm either going to get loopy and happy and be the normal party animal, or I'm going to get emotional. The feelings I have running through me during this time are very unfamiliar to me. Not unfamiliar that I love someone and I miss someone, but unfamiliar how I bounce around from being normal Nate and being happy-go-lucky. And that's when I try to get videos done. Like, that's when I try to record them. Like, when I did Prime News yesterday, I was in a good mood. And then, like, as soon as the camera turned off and I started exporting everything to my computer, I broke down and cried. So it's like, you know, trying to find those moments to get work done and then trying to find those moments where I'm okay. Right now, I think I'm doing mostly okay. I don't feel like anything's about to just explode, but that's the thing with emotions. You just don't know. Let me see here. Hope everyone stays safe tonight. I don't know if there was any incidents in my town tonight. I don't think there wasn't any in my neighborhood, anyways. Yeah, those poor souls that left their bowls out after a certain time. One time I went to a different neighborhood and they almost offered me Jell-O shots. They were smashed though. That was crazy. Yeah, I've had in my research when I was a kid, I ran into some party houses that were like handing out candy to kids, but also like having their own Halloween parties and probably shouldn't have been handing out candy while the party was going on. But you know, I have school during the Smash Trek, so I will not go on YouTube practically all morning and afternoon tomorrow. That happens. Happy Halloween, everybody. Nice. Mario may be in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Since when? I thought the people who are making it announced that Mario will not be in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Like, literally the people behind it said it won't be. Oh, it's not happening. So unless you have an actual source out there that can confirm that Mario might be in Wreck-It Ralph 2, then I can't really go against the people who made the movie saying he's not going to be in it. The movie's finalized and, like, done and almost out. So there's no way in heck the people who made the movie would say Mario's not in it because of we don't have the license for that character. Then all of a sudden Mario's in it. Like at this point it's too late. So yeah, no, Mario's not in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Come on now. I will be fighting a traffic ticket at that time. Oh jeez. What's up? Do you think that Nintendo will hit that 20 million? For the fiscal year? I know Smash vs. Pokemon will sell, but will it move that many units? I see them not hitting the mark. The thing is, it's not just Smash and Pokemon. So they have to sell basically 15 million. It's just under 15 million, but they have to sell 15 million units basically from October through, March, right? To the end of March is when their fiscal year is over. And I don't know what their unit sales are in October right now. You know, we know how many they have shipped. We don't know how many they've sold through. We know 18 million units was sold through September, but they shipped, you know, almost 23 million units. Don't know how many units have sold in October here. We do know that Super Mario Party sold 1.5 million, which I think is actually pretty good for a Super Mario Party game, or for a Mario Party game in general. So I think Super Mario Party was kind of like their kickstart for the holidays. It's like, okay, we got Super Mario Party to push us into November, where we're gonna, you know, be dropping the Diablo bundle for those that might be interested in it. We're gonna be dropping Pokemon, and then obviously into Smash. But it doesn't stop there, and I think that's what people are considering. They look at it as, oh man, Nintendo needs to sell like 15 million units over the next 2.5 months. No, they don't. Into January comes out new Super Mario Bros. U, and if there was ever another Wii U game that could move units like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did, it's new Super Mario Bros. U, which is one of the best-selling Wii U games. It's like Mario Kart, new Super Mario Bros. U, 1-2 on Wii U. And new Super Mario Brothers 2D Mario games sell like gangbusters, and there's going to be millions upon millions upon millions of people buying Switches that have not played new Super Mario Bros. U, let alone new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe with the Luigi U DLC, plus the I was about to say the Bowsette, plus the Super Crown and all that stuff. So I think that's going to sell incredibly well, and that's going to really help maintain sales in January. But that's not it. They have another system seller dropping, by the way. People are not thinking about it. It's called Fire Emblem Three Houses. If it can do even half of the sales momentum that Fire Emblem Awakening did, then Switch really, really has a shot to hit their projection of 20 million. So there's a chance. It's a long chance, but it's a chance because they potentially have 4, that's right, I'm saying it right now, 4 system sellers landing between now and March. Potentially. Are they as big as system sellers as Zelda, Splatoon, Mario Kart, and Super Mario Odyssey? Probably not. Probably not. And those games we know combined for $15 million. But that was, there was launch, there was shortages of Switch for a little while. They weren't coming out this close together necessarily. They were spread out a little more. So yeah, in the next 6 months we have 4 potential system sellers. None of those games are necessarily as big as Pokemon, although this Pokemon might not be the one that breaks the bank for Nintendo. It could be the one next holiday. That might be the one that really just destroys sales and makes Nintendo have their most successful holiday period ever for an individual platform anyways. So that might be a year off, but Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee is going to do something. It might, even if it doesn't hit 10 million, let's say it only sells 5-6 million. That's still going to move extra Switches. On top of that, you have Super Smash Bros., which I think might become the best-selling Smash Bros. Of all time. So I honestly think that once this momentum starts, Nintendo's not letting go of it at least. Thanks, Edward Norton. Hit me with $5. I'll take a shot here in a second. Let me get that music going for you. So it's one of those, do I think they're going to hit the projections? No. I don't think they're going to hit the projections. Do I think they can come close? Sure. I think they'll sell 17 million, 18. I think they'll fall just short of the 20. And I know the president's acting like the 20 million was kind of a long shot goal. Oh, I gotta unmute the desktop audio. A long shot goal rather than an absolute, where Nintendo in the past has treated it like an absolute. This president's been like, it was just kind of like we want to aim for that, but we realistically know internally we might not get there. That's what he's saying. He could be walking things back. I don't know. This is the first investors breakdown that this president has been fully in charge of. There was no help from, Kimishima or anything. This was all on Shintaro Furukawa. And so I guess this is the first time we can trust anything he has to say publicly. So until something comes out to counterintuitive to what he said, I guess I'll just kind of take him at his word. I know he's obviously trying to spin things to make it all sound good for Nintendo. That being said, yeah, I don't know if they're going to hit the 20 million. I don't think they will. I think there's a path that can pull it off. If New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe ends up being an even bigger seller than it was on Wii U, which is possible. If Super Smash Bros. Becomes the best-selling Smash Bros. Game of all time, especially the fastest-selling Smash Bros. Game of all time, it's definitely possible. If Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee does at least 6 million, if not more, over the first 3 months, definitely possible. And if Fire Emblem Three Houses is super well received and hypes people up in the same way Fire Emblem Awakening did, it's definitely possible. So there is a possible pathway of 4 system sellers that could make this work over the next 6 months. And stocks shouldn't really be an issue. I mean, there's going to be, around the Black Friday to the Cyber Monday period, there's going to be some shortages. That happens across the board. Though it'll be hard to get a PlayStation 4 for a little bit, hard to get an Xbox for a little bit as well. That's just what happens. But once you're past that little week period, it's not going to be that hard to get a Switch. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. But, I mean, I think Switch is in for one hell of a holiday period. Probably higher sales than last holiday, and I think last holiday they did 7 million Switches during the holiday period. So I think they're going to do better than that. Are they going to hit 10? I don't know, but I'm excited to see what the numbers are anyways. Do the numbers personally matter to me? Not so much. As long as Switch shows positive growth and positive momentum, I'm happy, because that means that there's even more reasons for more games to come to Switch, especially from a third-party perspective. Because Nintendo next year is already bringing the goods. Like, what we know of the games next year, Nintendo's bringing their A game. But that's next year. So, let's see here. Thank you for that question, by the way. Eric A. Sam Leo wants to know what time the Direct is tomorrow. 9 a.m. Central. It's 40 minutes long, and then there's probably another 20 minutes to an hour of Nintendo Treehouse Live after. It might even be longer than that, if we're being honest. Treehouse Live is always unpredictable, unless they tell us at the beginning, how long it's going to be. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow. And there'll be plenty of YouTubers out there trying to get videos out as fast as they can, and I'm just going to sit back and live stream and enjoy, and I'll do a reactions after the fact, right? Like, I'll react throughout the stream, but then I'll sit back, I'll think about it, I'll try to grab another person who also watched it all, and then we can kind of sit down and just have a conversation about it, and do a reaction for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. I don't know who that's going to be yet. I probably should reach out to some people tonight. see what other YouTubers or whatever content creators are going to be sitting down and watching it, so we can react together. But let me see here. I mean, and that's the thing. I'm lowballing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee because someone said the casual market could change everything. It could. For all I know, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee could be the best-selling Pokemon games of all time. I don't know. I'm just lowballing it and still saying even at the lowball numbers, if everything else does well, there's still a path. If it's highball numbers and they go crazy and it's selling 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 million, like at that point, yeah, Switch is going to hit their 20 million mark easily. But we'll see. Let me see here. Nick Figure says, this is kind of unrelated, but apparently in Wreck-It Ralph 2 section of Disney World, they are playing Mario Kart music. That just could be an homage. It's probably not exactly Mario Kart music because there's copyrights around that, but it could be inspired by Mario Kart or like a remix or something. And yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that Mario's going to be there. That's just like it's a reference, right? They can't use Mario, so they put in a little reference. Because after all, Bowser was in the first one, and now they can't use Bowser anymore. So, just a little reference. But yeah, Mario, like, literally said by the people who made the movie that it is not in the game. Or not in the movie. So, it's going to just be, if that music's there, that's it. It was just a little reference, a little calling to Mario. That most people are probably going to miss and not even notice it was a thing. Let's see here. PB says, do you see a psychiatrist? I can't remember if you mentioned taking... What's SSRIs? I don't know what that is. I don't even know what SSRIs unless that's abbreviation for something. But temporary increase might help, or if you aren't taking any... I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't take... Is that like an antidepressant or something? I don't take any medications. I'm not medicated. I'm not... Like, I might be... I don't think I'm depressed. No. I've been clinically depressed in my younger years, and I was one of those people that conquered it. Matthew Campos hits me up and says, hey, Nate, happy to see you on the grind again. I'm not really on... I mean, I don't know. I guess I got 3 videos out over the last 24 hours, so... That's not too bad. I wanted to get another video done today, but I mean, it's Halloween. Obviously, doing things with my kids meant more. I forgot. I got to get a shot in forever, too. The only alcohol I have sitting right next to me is apple pie. Let me go grab my other booze, and then I'm also going to grab a couple Red's apples that I have upstairs. I'm going to go grab those as well. Let's really get the party started. Keep those questions coming in. It's going to be about, I don't know, 2 minutes here for me to gather all the boozy booze up for those super chats. I guess the red strawberries. I didn't buy them, so my fiance did. She knew I'm having a rough time with my grandfather, and that one of these nights I probably want to have some beverages. It's kind of a way to help process things. You know, just one night, not like getting drunk all the time. That's obviously not advised. This one's for Edward. Thank you so much. Whew. And yeah, I know I'm a fat ass for those that saw me sideways. I know. Starting tomorrow, me and my kids are going to be doing half-hour workouts every single day. It's a project they do for class about healthy living. And I'm like, you know what? That's a damn good excuse for me to not only do things with my kids, but make it into a workout. So let's go. 30 minutes a day, every single day moving forward. Eventually, I'll move on to doing extra stuff for me, too, because I can't, my kids can't do everything I can in terms of what I should be doing anyways. Thank you, Matthew. All right. So anyways, as I was saying, I used to be clinically depressed. Not anymore. This was a long time ago. I mean, gosh, 15 years ago now? It's been a while. No, not 15 years. 12 years? Something like that. And went through a lot of therapy. Even almost went to a mental hospital because I was suicidal for a little bit. But I worked through it. Was on antidepressants for a little while, about 2 years, and through a lot of therapy, a lot of self-reflection, I just somehow got lucky and kind of snapped out of it, and I've never really fallen back in. I've had moments where what I used to feel like all the time, 24/7, comes back for brief moments. Yesterday, in the hospital, as my grandpa took his last breath, like, that was one of those moments that made me feel like I felt 12 years ago, where I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to live. What's the point of living anymore? Blah, 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 blah. But I didn't stay in that. I was really upset, but then like I'd snap out of it, and I would just be normal Nate again, and then I'd fall back into it, snap out. It's basically been like that since he died. Even today, how busy it's been with Halloween and everything with my kids. Even while I was out trick-or-treating, like memories flashing back of when I used to do stuff with my grandpa when I was trick-or-treating. And, I broke down crying once during trick-or-treating. But, my family's been really supportive. My kids, even, like, they don't really miss him because they didn't really know him that well, but they know that I'm really sad about it. So, like, they're always trying to give me love and support and give me hugs and lift me up and tell me it's going to be okay. He's with Jesus. He's in heaven. All this stuff. Don't care if you don't believe in that stuff. But, yes, my kids are going to private Catholic schools. So, like, that's what they're being raised up in. And it's fine. They're just trying to console me the best way. My kids, my kids trying to console their dad. As a parent, I'm supposed to be doing that to them. And here they are lifting me up. So, it's a whirlwind of stuff. But yeah, I don't need an increase in anything. I don't need therapy. Trust me, after having gone through actual like clinical depression a long time ago, I know what it feels like. And if it's a feeling I have and then I can't snap out of it, within a certain time frame, within days, that's when I'm like, okay, it's time to call someone before I do something stupid. But I thankfully, not even now, after my grandfather died, am I like that. I'll fall into it, and then I'll fall out. I'll fall into it, and then I'll fall out. So, I'm okay. It's my fiance. She's on medication, but I'm not going to get too deep into that. There's a lot of trauma in her life from childhood and just a lot of stuff. So, I'm just thankful she's in my life for me to love and for her to love me. Damn it, you got me addicted on Starlink. It's good. Starlink's good. I need to get back into it. I've put like 4 or 5 hours in. I got to get some more time into it. I really, really do. I've been neglecting video game time in general. Just been really busy lately. But I'll probably, maybe while I'm watching a movie tonight, I'll play Starlink. As if I'm going to pay any attention to the movie while I'm playing Starlink. It's not one of those games that you can play and not pay attention to. I don't know. Anyways, let me see here. Prime time. Not really. I mean, it's a night stream, but I wouldn't call it a prime time stream. You don't see me cussing out a storm right now. Let's see here. Scroll down. K-Boom says, what version of Pokemon Let's Go are you getting, and am I getting the Pokeball Plus? So, I don't even have it pre-ordered yet. Money. I mean, that's basically the reason it's not pre-ordered yet. In fact, I might not even have the money to buy it until like the day before it comes out. So, yeah. That being said, at least I'll have it the day before, so I can like. I don't need like I'm just gonna get it in person. I don't think I'm gonna order it online because it won't be here on time since I wanted the money until the day before. So I'll just go to GameStop or Walmart or I don't know, evil companies, but that's why I'll go and I'll pick it up. As for which version I'm getting, I'm probably gonna get Let's Go Eevee if I'm being completely honest. Just because one, I've already played with Pikachu as my companion before in Pokemon Yellow. And two, Eric's going to get the opposite version I am getting. And I know that he basically only cares about these games because of nostalgia. So I want him to have the most positive experience he could possibly have. And I think him having Pikachu following him around all the time is going to help him enjoy the game more than, say, Eevee. So I'm gonna allow him to maximize his fun. More than me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's really more than me. I've played more Pokemon generations than he has, so I'm trying to let him have the best possible experience. I might end up getting both of them eventually, but with him having the opposite one of me, we could figure out how to trade and how to get it done and how to get all the Pokemon in the game because that's something we both care about. Yeah, and then as for the Pokeball Plus, I don't know. I mean, Mew's in it, so it makes me feel like I have to get it. But we'll see. Depends on how much money I have at the time and if there's any available to purchase on launch day. Let's see here. Let me find out the question I'm at. Edward Norton says, back in high school from my junior to senior year on Halloween, my friends and I go and have an egg war. Oh, jeez. My entire 4 years in high school, I went to the same Halloween party, and it was really, really awesome. God, who was it that threw it? I think it was one of the Alicias who threw it. Anyways, their parents had a farm, and there would be like a barn that would be all decked out for like a dance and stuff like that. And then they would have like the corn maze, and in the corn maze, it wasn't that the maze itself was hard, but throughout it there would be things that would pop out, and eventually there would be like her dad dressed up in like in a Jason outfit or something, coming at you with a real chainsaw. No, he never actually cut any of us, but obviously I don't think like an actual chainsaw running and spinning and coming anywhere close to us, I don't think is exactly legal, but it was awesome when I was a kid. There'd be a big bonfire and food and drinks, and maybe our senior year a little extra. People brought some flasks and added a little flair, maybe spiked the punch a little bit without the parents finding out, but that's when I was a kid.
Like what you're going through is fairly normal. Everyone grieves in their own way. Much love.
I missed the beginning of that. Sorry to hear about your grandpa. Sounds like what you're going through is fairly normal. Everyone grieves. Yeah, I mean, everyone does grieve in their own way. I mean, it was hard. It was hard yesterday. It's not really any easier today for me. It's been easier for Yulia today because she's sick. So, like, because she has a flu, the only thing she could think about is, ow, my body hurts, and man, I want to sleep. So, for her, it's been easier in that way. When the funeral time comes on Monday, I expect she's going to be, because she was having a rough go of it yesterday, too, because she got really close to my grandpa over the last year, because she was helping take care of him. She was helping be a caretaker for him, so my grandma could go and do stuff and get her hair done, and she would take care of him, because that's part of what she does for a living, is she's a caretaker. So, and she got really close to him, and so it's been hard for her too. And what makes it even worse? We're technically driving my grandpa's car right now until we get the van fixed. And we've been driving it all summer. It didn't really matter, but now that he's like gone, today I had my kids in there, and like the license plate literally has his name on it. And all the stuff in the car is totally my grandpa. Like, he's got a dang police scanner and like a massive radio thing that you could actually dial into the police station and start talking to police officers. Only my grandpa would have that, damn military guy he is or was. So look. Anyways, let me try to move on to the next topic before the tears start coming. But you know how investors feel about meeting goals. I mean, bottom line is, don't know that Nintendo has really truly cared about investors, maybe ever. And I know it feels weird saying that, but Nintendo wouldn't be an experimental company releasing experimental systems all the time if they truly cared about their investors, because their investors like stability. They like growth and stability. They don't like instability. So, yeah, their investors might be upset about them not meeting their goals. Nintendo's going to be like, that's fine. We still made money. Move on. Like, that's the way Nintendo is. And their investors have never really held them accountable enough for it to matter. Like, in all those years that things were going bad with, Satoru Iwata running the show, he was never in threat of losing his job. Like, ever. All of the votes always, like, massively voted him in. So even, like, as he dropped, it just, the investors don't hold the people accountable enough to the point that they need to care so much about always pleasing investors. It's not like EA. EA has to care constantly about their investors. They don't please investors, the investors replace you. It's not like that at Nintendo. They don't please investors, investors just grumble, and Nintendo keeps doing their thing. So, that might not happen if Vivendi tries to buy out half of it, but Vivendi's not trying to do a hostile takeover of Nintendo. Nintendo wouldn't even let that happen. They have so much money in the bank, they would just buy enough of their stocks back to own enough of the company to prevent it if they needed to. Let me see here. Mr. Safari says, do you think that bigger, powerful games will be able to run the Switch like Red Dead Redemption 2? Do you think that bigger, powerful games will be able to run the Switch? Or don't you mean... Do you think the Switch could run them? I think is what you're trying to say. Because they don't run Switch. Unless you mean run on Switch and you just forget. Anyways, like Red Dead Redemption 2, and if it can, how do you think it would run? Red Dead Redemption 2 could run on Switch. It's never been a question of if these games can run on Switch. The question is, what are we getting as an end product? Even to this day, I'll hold up the game. Wolfenstein 2. Give you an example. Man, my hair's all spiky. You know why? Because I dressed up as Link for Halloween. So I was wearing the Link hat like most of today, and my hair wasn't cooperating after I took it off. Anyways, Wolfenstein 2. Love this game to death. I think it plays fantastic on Switch. Is it as good as the other versions of the game? Of course not. Well, aside of the fact it's portable, no. But it's still great, even on Switch. But a lot of detractors will be like, LOL, you played a game that ran at sub HD, not even just sub HD, sub standard def. It hit 340p at times. LOL. And like, sure. And I still loved every freaking moment I spent with this game. So the thing is, you're always going to have people saying that. So the question is, what sacrifices would need to be made for a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 to run on Switch? Would it have to run at 480p, 340p, or whatever? Would a bunch of the effects be cut back? Would a lot of the textures that make everything seem so realistic have to be cut out of the game and using much lower quality textures? There's a lot of stuff that would have to get changed to make it run on Switch. And then when they finally get it to run on Switch and maybe run at a stable, 25 to 30-ish FPS, then it's like, okay, now that we have this, is what this is worth putting out there? And there's many factors for that. How well is it going to sell? How are people going to react when they see this dialed back version? And then last but not least, something that we don't talk about often enough is, are the developers and publisher actually happy with how this product looks and functions and works? Because while we could talk about how graphics aren't everything and this isn't everything, reality is for Red Dead Redemption 2, the visuals are one of its massive calling cards. So if you have to dial back all those visuals, all those effects, all those textures to a point that it just doesn't even look like Red Dead Redemption 2 anymore, are they going to be willing to accept such a thing? And I'm willing to bet that no. No, they're not. I mean, the fact that we don't have Grand Theft Auto 5 was already telling to me, and Grand Theft Auto 5 was on hardware worse than Switch. But why don't they want to release it on Switch now? Because you know what it's going to do? It's going to highlight a downgraded version of Grand Theft Auto 5. Whereas everyone now, when they think Grand Theft Auto 5, they're thinking of the PlayStation 4 version. They're thinking of the Xbox One version or the 4K ones on the Pro and the X. They're not thinking about the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 originals anymore. When people think of Grand Theft Auto 5, they're associating it with more modern hardware, modern PC hardware, etc. So to come up with a version now that reminds people of what Grand Theft Auto 5 used to be like is not something Rockstar wants to associate with. So that's why I think a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 from that particular company won't happen, because the developers themselves don't want, like, they're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary for it to run on Switch because it does not meet their ideal vision of the game. See, Bethesda's vision for Wolfenstein 2 and Doom is less about the visual fidelity, more about the gameplay. It's gameplay, 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 gameplay. So all they care is that the gameplay elements are maintained to a point that Wolfenstein 2 feels like Wolfenstein 2 and Doom feels like Doom. And they did do that successfully, in my opinion at least. Whereas Red Dead Redemption 2, with the visuals being that big calling card, they might not be willing to sacrifice the visuals to make it run on Switch. So I think that's the thing. Not the Switch can't do it, but the developers don't want to do it. That being said, and by the way, I don't think that's a bad decision. I can't get mad for a developer to not want to make massive sacrifices to their vision of their game to make it run on on Switch. I can't get upset about that. I really can't, because it's their game. You got to remember, these aren't our games. We didn't make these. This isn't our work. This is their work. They have a vision for it. Switch doesn't fit the vision. Okay, fine. There are games that I think could work on Switch and should fit the vision. Call of Duty as an example. But Activision really hasn't shown they really want to support Switch. So, is it the Activision's fault? Is it the developer's fault? Who knows? That being said, could games like, those bigger games like that run on here, say Fallout 76, they could. Again, it's all about vision and all about the sacrifices needed to be made and all about whether or not they think those sacrifices are worthwhile. Bethesda does not think the sacrifices needed to run Fallout 76 on Switch is true enough to the original vision of the game. So they're not going to do it. So, can these games be on Switch? They can. But will they? Probably not. At least not Switch as it currently is. A Switch Pro, if it can approach PlayStation 4 power, maybe. Sure, now you're talking a little bit. But by then, you're just getting older ports because we're on to PlayStation 5 and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's an interesting place Switch is in. It's in this in-between area that Nintendo wants it to have all these home console games, but it's not necessarily powerful enough for a lot of developers to be happy putting their home console games on the system. So it's not always just what the consumers want, is what I'm kind of trying to say there. I think they thought Labo was going to move systems. I definitely think they thought that Nintendo Labo was going to be a hell of a lot bigger than it is. They thought Nintendo Labo was going to be their Wii Sports. I guarantee they thought Labo, Wii Sports. It just clicks. It just works. It does work. It is brilliant. It is awesome. And it's expensive. And it requires a lot of hands-on time. It requires parents to have time to do things with their kids. It requires kids to actually be interested in something like that versus just playing, Mario Kart. It just requires a lot of things. It just requires a lot. That's all. I don't think I ever did that shot for Jack. Let me get that shot in here. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just think that that Labo isn't as big as they thought it would be. That although now that they're partnering up and they're getting Nintendo Labo into schools, yes, that is what they should have did with Labo from day one. I said it before it came out. I said it after it came out. I said it when the sales started coming out for it. Labo should have been targeted at elementary schools. Get in the schools, form partnerships, form deals. That's how you're going to get into people's homes, is when kids experience this hands-on at their schools. Because it can be a brilliant learning tool for kids. Do it there, then parents will want to buy it for their homes as an educational tool. So now it's doing that. Labo could actually have better sales next year than this year. But I don't know if it's ever going to be a system mover like they hoped it would be. YM9001 says, do I think Luigi's Mansion 3 will be a system seller? Or Animal Crossing, yes. Animal Crossing's been a system seller for, I don't know, like the last three versions. They've all been system sellers. As for Luigi's Mansion 3, I don't know that Luigi's Mansion has the power to be a system seller, but it can be like a momentum maintainer. So here's how I you got to be careful when we use the term system sellers and momentum maintainers. But I view system sellers, like a lot of people basically say, hey, a game released this week. The Switch sold more units this week than the last week. Ergo, it was a system seller. Sure. On the literal sense that some people bought the platform to play that game, it was a system seller. But that's true of every game. I view system sellers as one. Well, basically, there's two caveats to be a system seller. One, you need a demonstrably improve sales of Switch the month that the game releases it. And I don't mean like going from, in Japan you sold 40,000 one week and you sold 45,000 the next week. No, you need to go from like 40,000 to 60, 70. It needs to be a massive boost in sales. That's the first caveat. The second is that boost in sales maintains over at least a 6-week period. That is a system seller. Okay? There are very few games that meet that criteria. Breath of the Wild was one. Super Mario Odyssey was one. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was one. Splatoon's kind of in there. See, Splatoon is more of a maintainer, though, right? It's a game that comes out and consistently sells well, but it doesn't necessarily improve the sales of Switch. It just kind of helps the Switch sales from falling. And I feel like Luigi's Mansion 3 can be like that. Luigi's Mansion 3 can be one that just maintains current momentum. It's not going to sell as well, obviously, as Splatoon 2, but I hope that makes sense. And again, that's my own definition. The literal definition of system seller is any game that people buy a system to play. That's why I said every game qualifies. Indie games qualify. Every game qualifies as that. I don't think Animal Crossing is a 2019 title. Nintendo specifically listed in their latest financial report as 2019, and then they have Pokemon listed as the second half of 2019. Something tells me Animal Crossing is coming out next summer. It's going to be a massive summer game for them, which is actually perfect timing to release an Animal Crossing, by the way, based on just the type of game it is. All right, let me scroll down here. Oh, let me get that shot into. Well, thank you, Jack, so much for your support. Financially, that is. All of you guys watching are hopefully enjoying the stream, and just by watching the stream and liking the stream and sharing the stream, you're showing support as well. All right. Shadow King 1982 says, "What version of Mega Man, i.e. X, EXE, Star Force, Volt Nut, would you like to see an Echo Fighter for Smash?" X. The rest of them I don't really care about. Kids hugging Nate. Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course my kids love me. Of course my fiance loves me. Like, duh. I really wasn't worried about the love. Sometimes you question it with your kids when they have those selfish attitudes, but they know. Like, when dad is sad or dad's in pain, like, they know. They're not, they don't always know what they could do to make it better, but they always think, oh, let's give them hugs and kisses. And it might not be what I want, but I know that they mean well by it, so. Who made my logo? Oh, geez. There's been 3 different people that have worked on it. The original person who made my logo, I'm not even sure I could say who it is. It's someone who used to work at Zelda Informer, and they did it for me as a favor. I'll say that. Then another professional person HD'd the logo for me because the original logo files were not HD. I mean, they were big, but they were like jagged edges, and I didn't notice it most of the time until I started adding outlines. But yeah, they were not really the great, especially for prints on a shirt. They really weren't that great, and I noticed that when I would print them on shirts. I'm like, doesn't really look that good. Now it looks super clean. And then I had another person I paid to create the podcast logo, and because that's its own logo, and then mess around with some effects on certain things. And so yeah, I mean, I don't have any direct names for you. I can give you a reference to the person I paid. I think I still have the DMs with that guy that I can look him up and share him. But he's not the one who actually created. He did the podcast logo. He didn't create the overall Nintendo Prime logo. I'm not sure if the person who did it wants me to even share who it was, because it was as a favor to me from a friend from the Zelda Informer days, and I Don't want to put his name out there if he's not comfortable with it. Nate, I like the costume. A good way to represent Zelda. I'm not wearing my costume right now. It was a pretty lazy put together costume. I didn't put on the full Link attire because it was a little chilly outside. So what I did is I have that Wind Waker Link jacket. I think you guys have seen it on stream before, but it's a zip up hoodie jacket that's Wind Waker Link that I got. And then I put the the cap on, and I had my little Wind Waker sword because I'm like, you know what? If I'm wearing the Wind Waker jacket, that makes me look like Wind Waker Link. I might as well have the Wind Waker sword. There was some kids who recognized me as Link. And there were adults that recognized me as Link from Wind Waker. So, guess I won on both fronts out there. My kids knew who I was, of course, because I'm their dad. First thing they do is ask me, what are you doing, Dad? Dressing as Link. From that game you play? Yep. Let's see here. We had a big jump there. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any of the ats. Have I seen the Lavender Town video for Let's Go? Yes, I have. I can't believe I missed that question earlier. That was actually an earlier question. Wolfenstein 2 is a linear game. It has a lot less to do on Switch. No. I'm not trying to compare Wolfenstein 2 to Red Dead 2 in that way. I was just pointing out that there's visual sacrifices made for this. They can make visual sacrifices for Red Dead 2, and that doesn't... Like, they can make Red Dead Redemption 2 run on Switch. That's not really a question. I know this from a development standpoint because I used to actually program video games. They can make it run on Switch. But the amount of sacrifices needed to make it run on Switch, to them, I guarantee are not worth it. I don't even think they would put it on a Switch Pro, for being honest. Scroll down here. Shadow King 1982 says, I believe people were blowing the Assassin's Creed Odyssey microtransactions out of proportion, especially since Unity was essentially built around it. People have such short memories. Here's the thing, Shadow King. The thing is, nobody liked Unity. So you're talking about an Assassin's Creed game that nobody liked. So comparing Odyssey to Unity is actually a massive insult to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and actually works in the favor of the people criticizing Odyssey for the microtransactions because, well, Unity is one of the most hated games in the entire franchise. That being said, the problem I think people have with the microtransactions in Assassin's Creed Odyssey weren't that they existed, it's that there was an XP boost. And it's that the XP boost actually makes the game playable main storyline beginning to main storyline end without needing to venture out and do a crap load of side quests. And Assassin's Creed, in case you didn't know, you've always been able to go and just follow the main story from start to finish without doing side quests. You've always from the first Assassin's Creed all the way through the last Assassin's Creed been able to play from start to finish only doing the main story, and always gotten enough experience to level up and do what you needed to do to move on to the next thing in the main story. That's always been the way it worked until Odyssey. Odyssey doesn't give you enough experience just doing the main story to progress, unless you spend money on a microtransaction that gives you a permanent XP boost. Then the game feels like all the other Assassin's Creed Odyssey games. That's what got blown out of proportion, and nothing to do with the other microtransactions there. Most people can ignore those microtransactions. They couldn't ignore the microtransaction that existed that clearly made Assassin's Creed Odyssey a worse game without it. That's all. So like you could feel like it was blown out of proportion, but that one microtransaction is what pissed everyone off. Because it made the game vastly different. And yes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is already a vastly different game than prior ones, but it made it different in so much that people couldn't just play through the main quest anymore. Imagine if in Breath of the Wild, you couldn't just play through the main quest, do the main storyline all the way to the end. No, you had to do side content to progress. That's what they forced in Odyssey. But a workaround for it is buy the XP boost and you're fine. Made people feel like the game was made with that experience, and then they dialed back the experience boost to sell it to you, is what it felt like. That's why people are mad about it. And again, don't compare it to Unity. You're not doing yourself any favors in your argument that it wasn't blown out of proportions. That being said, in spite of that microtransaction, that one particular one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is actually a really good game. To Ubisoft's credit, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a very, very good video game. Unfortunately, you got to spend an extra $10 to really have the ideal experience. Let me see here. I think I'm caught up to the chat now. Just a few chats behind. That awkward moment when Toon Link grows. We've seen fan art of Toon Link when he was older. So actually, I know what Toon Link would look like when he grows up. Not when he's a really old man, though. That's probably not as old as me either. That's something that we don't have fan art. Oh, there's fan art for it, but we don't have official art for it. Keeping the Lavender Town music is one of... Dude, they're keeping so much of the music. Like, a lot of the music in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is just the music from Pokemon Yellow. But, you know, redone and remastered a little bit, but it's the same music. It's not just Lavender Town. Like, everywhere is primarily using the same music. Like, you gotta remember, this is like a reimagining of Pokemon Yellow. A remake of Pokemon Yellow, as it were, right? Like, it's its own thing, but it's basically a remastering, remake, or whatever you want to call it, of Pokemon Yellow. So... So they turned AC Odyssey into a JRPG. Not really. It's still very much a Western RPG, but it's less action. I'd say a lot of people used to classify Assassin's Creed Odyssey as like an action adventure game with RPG stuff in it, kind of like Breath of the Wild in a sense, more so than a strict Western RPG. Now it's definitely all Western RPG, which isn't a bad thing. It's just different. But the fact that you need an XP boost to make it feel like the old games is kind of, I remember Bravely Default did something. Did it? Did Bravely Default? I don't remember Bravely Default sold an XP boost that made the game feel way better. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is fun. Quantum? I have no I said, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a very good game. I've been playing it even still through the browser because I get to play it for free till January through the Chrome browser, and it's great. It's a great game. It really is a very, very good game. I mean, Ubisoft pretty much always makes high-quality products. Sometimes, you know, they're a bit formulaic. That's kind of the calling card of Ubisoft games is all the same formula, but really fun. Really fun. Yeah, I heard that was a criticism of the Torna, that Torna DLC that you can play as a standalone thing for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I heard that you get to a certain point and you think you're doing well, and all of a sudden it like twists your arm and says, "Nope, go spend X amount of hours doing side quests and leveling up and grinding." And it's like, no, people don't like that. Like, as an optional thing, like if I have to grind up to do certain side quests, that's fine. But to have to grind up to do the main story, it's like, no, people don't like that. That's not fun. Some people just want to experience the main story. They don't want to have to be forced into doing the tedium things they don't enjoy doing. Anyways. Let's see here. Luigi mentioned his niche. What are you smoking? It is niche. Like Fire Soul, Luigi's Mansion could be a bigger deal to you than Star Fox's niche too, by the way. Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Mario. Like, for you personally, Luigi's Mansion can be bigger than all of that. But it's still a niche franchise in comparison to Animal Crossing, Mario, and Zelda. Star Fox, you can argue it might be on the level of Star Fox, maybe. But Star Fox itself is kind of a niche game. So, and by the way, something being niche has nothing to do with the quality of the product. So whenever I say that, like when I mention Metroid is actually kind of a niche IP, that's not a knock against Metroid. It's just a statement of it's not an IP that sells a lot of copies, which is just a fact. It's okay. Not every game needs to be Breath of the Wild and Odyssey selling 10 plus million copies. Like, that doesn't need to be the case. You can live in the 1 million, 2 million mark and be fine. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, best-selling Xenoblade Chronicles game ever. It's only sold like 1.5 million. That's okay. That's good. Games can exist in that and be perfectly profitable. So, Let's see here. Yeah, you don't like how Assassin's Creed is basically completely ignoring the present time story, just focusing on the past. Now that they should do a game entirely based on the present. They won't do a game entirely based on the present because people won't buy it. The reason they're focusing more on the past, in my opinion, this isn't really a Nintendo topic, but in my opinion, the reason they're focusing on the past is because those are the parts of the game people like. Basically, the current day / future stuff used to be really, really interesting. Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, very, very interesting plot lines with the current day story, with Desmond, and I don't want to spoil what happens to Desmond for anyone, but it just got worse and worse and worse, and more corny, and more shoehorned, and more not really making a whole lot of sense, and more just rubbish with the Templars and everything. It just became garbage. So people kind of dreaded those moments in the game and only looked forward to playing the stuff in the past. So now they focus on the stuff in the past because the stuff in the present wasn't that enjoyable. They just weren't good at making it anymore. So having a game entirely based on the present, no one's going to buy it because no one trusts Ubisoft to actually make it good because they haven't been able to make it good for many, many games. That doesn't mean you personally couldn't have enjoyed it in those games. Of course you could have, but on the whole, people weren't enjoying it. So I thought it was brilliant. I think Assassin's Creed 2 was the peak of the of going to the past and the present day stuff lining up and being like this massive perfection of storytelling. I thought it was amazing, and then it's been downhill ever since. Which I mean, it happens, you know, when you hit the top, there's really nowhere to go but down. But it went down fast. Like it's not like it just went down gradually. It went nosedive. Anyways, aiming controls are super annoying. I don't know why they couldn't keep GTA controls. Oh, for Red Dead. I haven't played Red Dead 2, so I can't really comment too much on the game. I've seen it played, not just online, like in person. I've seen people play it. I've never played it myself, though. Nathan, do I play RuneScape, says Devilish Fury. No, I do not. I did play it briefly when I was a very little kid on the library computers in the 90s. But didn't really enjoy it. Didn't really get into MMOs until World of Warcraft came out. I mean, I played a little bit of Guild Wars and a little bit of, was it EverQuest? EverQuest back in the day? But it really, MMOs didn't click for me until World of Warcraft in 2004. Hope Isaac from Golden Sun is announced. I think Isaac is probably one of the, if there was ever a character that's basically for sure going to be in Smash without us actually having confirmation, it's Isaac. Isaac, I think, is definitely going to be announced tomorrow. I've been playing a crap load of Black Ops 4, and I bought Undertale on Switch because Donkey's video was so funny. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I didn't watch the whole video, but it was pretty funny when I watched it. Funny how some games on Switch wind up being gems despite being multi-plat games. The only thing I can think of that's like that is Starlink. But that's because some of the best content in the game happens to be exclusive to Switch. So it's like, you know, what are you going to do? They're not going to, like, Nintendo wasn't going to allow the Star Fox stuff to be on other platforms. Eric Wolf just on random question, have I played Starlink yet or own it? I do own it, and I have played it, and I've done impressions on it. Starlink Battle for Atlas, I own the digital deluxe version. Oh, no, the digital version, sorry, I don't own the deluxe version. Because it gave me the right balance of ships and stuff that I liked. And I've actually played it long before that, because I played it at E3 this year, too. You don't think it's a good game? Are you talking about Red Dead? The fact that you said a good interactive movie makes me think you're talking about Red Dead. I've seen some reviewers call that it's like, it's not really a great game, but if you really love interactive movies, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a really good interactive movie. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's different than Late Shift. Late Shift's literally an interactive movie, and I really liked Late Shift a lot. Like, I must have played through, I still haven't seen every ending in Late Shift. I must have played through Late Shift making different decisions. Jeez. Probably a dozen times now. So I got probably like 30 hours logged on Late Shift at this point. Even though it's only like an hour and a half movie. I answered you. What you will find, Devilfish Fury, on my channel is I try to answer everyone. It's a rare occasion comes up where I don't answer everyone. but I try. And especially if you at me, if you at Nintendo Prime, and obviously if you super chat, your question is definitely going to get answered. I usually don't skip questions, but sometimes if things get crazy, I do. Attica's back. It's a new channel. I knew that was what it was called, but I couldn't find it searching for it earlier. So let's see if it pops up in the search today. Now it's popping up. It's the top search result. All right. Oh, good. So he's got an Am I Back stream highlight for 6 minutes. And then a thing 3 days ago why he deleted his YouTube channel. Okay. I'm going to subscribe right now. Dude, I like Attica. I really do. I'm not going to get into all the drama that happened behind all this stuff, but he's just entertaining. Right? Like Joy-Con boys for life, baby. Makes me want to get a Joy-Con boy. Like all this drama around it makes me want to buy one of his Joy-Con boys shirts. I probably will. Probably next paycheck I might have to pick up a Joy-Con boy shirt. But yeah, I literally just subscribed to him. For those asking, like, yeah, I was waiting for me to be able to find his channel, and now I have. And he's got up to 16,000. He'll probably be over 100,000 here once people realize it. Give it like a week or so. He'll bounce back up to 100K. Getting back to 850,000, he's probably a long ways from that, but he wants to change things up a little bit, change up how he does his content. So we'll see. Plus, we have to worry about if YouTube's gonna come after him and shut it down because they don't like repeat offenders, or they don't basically because he put porn on his own channel. Usually they don't let you make a second one, but this is a channel he had. This is actually an older channel he rebranded, and that's how Drama Alert worked around their suspension. That plus he has somebody else who owns the channel while he runs the channel. So anyways, I'm sure he's got that all figured out. Heck, maybe he's even talked to YouTube. So Bravely Default didn't sell. Yeah, I didn't remember Bravely Default selling XP Boost, but it's been so long since I played, I wouldn't really know. Let me see here. So yes, was I going to subscribe to Attica? I just did. Do you think there'll be a Mega Man Legends Legacy Collection announced by Mega Man Legends? Then don't they already have all the Mega Man games out basically on Switch? Or a lot of them, or most of them. So I don't know what you're referencing. Quantum wants to know, am I going to E3 again this year? I think you mean next year. I don't know. The thing is, for me to go to E3 requires money. It's going to require less money than it did this past year, because this past year involved also buying equipment, right? So I need the laptop, the camera that I now use that's just off screen here. I needed that, plus the stand, and the SD card, the lens, all that stuff. It's all expensive stuff. Granted, these were one-time purchases. I mean, not that I'll never need to get another laptop, but I'm not going to need to get a new one for a while, as long as nothing happens to the current one. Yeah, I had to get some equipment. Then there was obviously the flights and all the stuff. And since I have all the equipment, it already makes things cheaper. So basically, I need car rental, flights, hotel stay. The thing is, if I go again, I'm going to need to stay even longer. This last time we did a week, and it wasn't enough because there was no time to enjoy being there. Does that make sense? You guys know, live streaming, editing videos, putting up all this content, go time. And that's what E3 is going to be like anyways. But if I can get enough time around E3 to enjoy it, I think it'll be better. And now E3 kind of starts before the show floor stuff now. It starts on the weekend. So I need to basically get in on like a Friday, so I can do some of the EA stuff or whatever's happening over the weekend. Enjoy the weekend a little bit more, because there'll be less content for Switch, I think, to cover over the weekend. Anyways, but I still want to cover what I can, like the FIFA stuff or whatever. And do that over the weekend and enjoy the weekend. And then maybe stay until the Saturday. See, I left on Friday, I think. If I stay until the Saturday, E3 runs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then I'll have the entire day Friday to kind of enjoy instead of worrying about leaving Friday night. Of course, every additional day you stay in LA adds, another night at the hotel. So that increases the price, including, obviously, survival. You have to have food, snacks, all that stuff. And so it'll be cheaper, but it'll still be expensive. And I think last for this year's E3, we raised $3,000, and then we raised like an additional $800 on top. So almost $4,000 for the past E3 trip. I think I can get by with $2,000 for the next one. But I'm not going to have a spare $2,000. I can already tell you. I'm personally not going to have the spare money to do it. Unless something drastic happens on my YouTube channel and we're over 100K by summer and I'm pulling in awesome.
Show my support.
Nice, Devilish Furry. Thanks so much for your $10 Canadian. Which I don't know, was that $7 US? I'll give you a shot of kinky for that one. Thanks so much for your support. As you said, you just want to show your support, and you did. Thank you so much. Let me get that kinky rolling up in here. So I'm not gonna have the money to do it, and this year we raised fan funds for it. I'm trying to make sure I can get a media pass this time, but I don't know. Like, are we really gonna raise $2,000 to go? I don't know. Like, does that even seem feasible or realistic? I don't know. Does it? I don't know. So we basically were able to go primarily because of Be Righteous. Be Righteous gave us a huge chunk of his tax return, which enabled us to go. I can't really rely on Be Righteous or any individual giving us tax return money to go. So, and my tax return money's already spoken for before it even gets here. So I don't know. I want to. I'm going to keep working towards it, and I'm going to apply for it, and I'm going to get the media passes, and I'm going to keep acting like I'm going to go. But I have severe doubts we're going to raise that kind of money again. I felt like that was like a one-time thing because one person went way out of their way to send us. I don't know that I can realistically raise that kind of capital again to go. But if I can, great. And it'll be a little cheaper this time because I already have the equipment. And I'll have a media pass so I can use all the equipment properly every day of E3 and have early access to the show floor without having to wait in long lines. That would be nice. Damn. So sucks because now I'm going to have a media pass, but now I won't be able to afford to go. But, we'll see. Maybe things will change. We're a long ways away from worried about that. What is it? We're entering November. I mean, we're what? 6 months away before I really need to worry about locking down if I'm going or not. So cheers, by the way. Devilish Fury. Then again, didn't think I was going to go this year, and we got the funds. So who knows? Don't think I'm going to go next year, and we might get the funds. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I get a media pass. But basically, I need to have 10,000 unique viewers of my website per month to get a media pass. 20,000 if I want Eric to have a media pass too. So that's basically how I'm going to get a media pass. And I started doing it this month. Next month is when I really have to hit it hard. But I started doing it last month. And I wasn't even doing it super serious. I wasn't updating the site every day. But I went from... How much traffic did I even get on the website this month? Let me look here. I went from... Let's go to audience here. Overview. Let's change the date here. So in September, the website had 1,148 people who viewed it, right? That was in September. In October, with me just trying a little bit, not even super hardcore, we ended with 7,234. So if I actually try, we're going to get there. Like, I didn't even update the site most of October. So, I got to get better about at least putting 2 or 3 news posts on the site and getting it shared on the social media. And if any of you guys have been visiting the website, thanks so much, because that's what I'm using to get us to E3 with media passes. Because YouTube channel requirements for media passes are absolutely ridiculous. Just ridiculous. You could tell E3 doesn't take YouTube as seriously as they do traditional websites, and it's so stupid. All right, scroll down here. Nathan, RuneScape for Switch. Spread the word. RuneScape. Hey, RE4 WI 2018. How's it going? Happy Halloween to you as well. Reddit's a disaster. I just go to Reddit to find information. I don't really read comments on Reddit very much unless it's related to the news and I'm doing research. So I don't know. I mean, I know it's a massive, like it's like the biggest forum in the world, but I don't know. I've never really been a big user of Reddit, just a browser, someone who peruses it looking for news I might have missed that I didn't catch on Twitter, that I didn't catch on all the traditional websites, that I didn't catch from anyone else that I have contact with, or I didn't get emailed to me, PR stuff. Scroll down here. Make sure to @ me in the comments to ensure I see your questions. Mega Man Legends games. I'm sorry if it wasn't clear. I mean, they'll probably eventually do it. I don't know why they wouldn't. So Etika FRFX is fake. Well, I know the Triceman account is his. I know that. But is the Etika stuff like the weird thing about the Etika one, like when it says why I deleted my YouTube channel? I haven't watched that video yet, but like it's clearly in the thumbnail, like footage from the N-word video he did. So it's like that doesn't really look like that doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. See, the Triceman account we know is his for sure. So I'll sub to that. And he has the Etika logo up on it now. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, until he officially announces, like I follow him on Twitch as well. Until he officially announces something, I don't know that any of it matters. I think he was waiting to get his Twitter account back, which was on a temporary suspension. Should be coming off that suspension already, though. So maybe he's just waiting for the timing to be just right. Let's see here. Hell, I've only been watching the last few days. Thumbs up for sure. Watching what, my content for the last few days? It's fun to see you interacting with the community this way. Came across this channel a few months ago, and even though you're still growing, I get most of my gaming news from you. Keep up the great work. Thanks. I mean, I don't know that I should ever be your only source of news, but, you know, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the content, and I do. I try really hard to interact with the community. I've always tried hard to interact with the community. It's always been at the center of what I do since I started live streaming, is I want to interact. I want to be transparent as much as I can. This is why you guys even know that my grandfather passed away. I want to be transparent. I don't just want to be sporadic with my videos and crying profusely and you guys not having any reasoning or understanding why. It doesn't mean I'm going to tell you every little detail about my life. Of course not. That's not the way this works. But I try to keep you guys in the loop and make you guys feel like we're all kind of part of the same friend group, right? I think that's the way to look at it. You have your friend groups. I want us to be the Nintendo Prime friend group, the Nintendo Prime clique of people. And to do that involves me also being open and honest and talking with you guys and taking what you say seriously. And sometimes when you don't mean it to be serious, I take it too serious. But anyways. If I go to this year to E3, I'll let you take the spare bed and room. No, won't happen. One, I'm not comfortable staying at a stranger's home. And as much as I love you guys and think you're awesome, technically, on a personal level, you're all strangers to me. And I'd rather stay at a reputable hotel than stay with a stranger. Because at least a reputable hotel, I can feel safe. There's guarantees. There's contracts in place. Refunds I can get, all that stuff. Whereas staying at a person's house who I don't really know, not going to work. Plus, it's not just me. It's Eric, too. Eric and I both go. So it's two of us. And we have a lot of equipment, and we're very messy. I'm not going to lie. We're extremely messy. We clean up everything at the hotel on the last day. Otherwise, it's like a dumpster fire the whole time we're at the hotel until we leave. We don't let them come in and clean it for us because we don't want to make the service they have, they're responsible for cleaning the room. We will clean everything up. But until then, we're just so busy, it just becomes a dumpster fire. But yeah, no, we are not interested in staying at anyone's home because we don't know anyone who actually lives in LA personally. We've met one. We met Neil Willis, but even then, I don't know that I know Neil Willis even well enough to be like, hey, let's stay at your house. Like, not really like. I got like, if maybe in my younger years when I was single with no kids, I wouldn't care. But now it's like, I'm a father. I really, really have to worry about like what happens to me when I'm gone on a trip like this. So I refuse to basically stay at people's homes that I don't know, because to me it's more risky than just staying at a hotel with all these locks on the doors that I can just prevent people from messing with me. So anyways, taking a shot with me, nice. I wish I had. Usually I want to do another shot now, but I refuse to do shots on stream unless I pay for it, because I think then it's unfair. You know what? I actually have a thought. Not right now, but when I'm done with this Q&A in like 20 minutes, maybe take a small break and set things up. I was thinking about doing a Fortnite stream where I take a shot every time I die. Additional shots can still be done with super chats and donations. So things could get crazy. And I'm saying that because I feeling emotional over here. I kind of want to get crunk a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. Haven't really decided. He tried to get out of his contract. Yeah, that's what he said on live stream. The part that was planned was that he wanted to, basically him putting up the porn on his channel was planned. He wanted to do that to get YouTube to close his channel, because one of the only loopholes in his MCN contract to get out of it sooner was if YouTube closed your channel. So he couldn't just start up another channel and stop making content there. It wouldn't work. His MCN, there's these fine terminology in the. I know because I'm with an MCN. There's all this fine terminology in there about new channels you make and all this stuff and their involvement in them. So in order to avoid the contract, he needed to get his channel shut down by YouTube. So he did. As for what's going on with, I don't know what was up with his MCN. Usually you can leave your MCN every year. Like there's an auto renewal period, and you just have to give them a notice before that period, and then you get detached from your MCN, and it gets messy for a couple months, but then you'll be fine. But I don't know what contract he had with his MCN. I don't know what MCN he was using. For all I know, he might have had a 10-year contract or something. Because the longer contract period you sign, usually the better deal they'll give you. But then after a while of being with them, you kind of realize, okay, the services you're rendering me were great at the start, but now they're dog shit and you're just collecting money off me. I'll give you an example. I'm with BBTV. BBTV really, really helped me out at the very beginning of the contract. I had one-on-one private lessons to help improve my thumbnails, help improve my titling, help improve my content in general, giving me tips on my content itself. And that was great. And it really helped me get into a way that I could start doing this every single day all the time. But since then, the only thing I really take advantage from BBTV is that they have a licensing thing with a music company for me to use music. And like once in a blue moon, like once a month, I'll use a piece of music from Epidemic Sound, which is who they have a partnership with. Otherwise, I basically do not use or take advantage of any of the things that BBTV offers, because none of it really helps me for the kind of channel I am. So maybe the first year was worth it. But now that I make some serious coin, enough that I do this as like a primary source of income, yeah, I don't really want BBTV taking a slice anymore. They're not providing me anything that's useful for me. I'm not saying they're not useful. They're just not useful for me. So yeah, next year, like summer, I think in like July or something, or June, I have to tell them I don't want to be part of it. Then it gets messy because it'll get disconnected, but then getting everything back to, basically I might end up with a month where I have like no money coming in, because it gets all screwy when you're changing out who your YouTube money's going to. I don't plan to sign with another MCN, I can tell you that. Maybe if I was like a 4 million channel, because when you're a really, really massive channel, MCNs, one thing they will do for you that is hard to do on your own is sell your ad space. So instead of just using the YouTube ads, what they will do is they'll be like, look, dude, we're going to make a contract with your channel with Pepsi. And Pepsi is going to pay your channel, I don't know, $1 million this year to run ads on your channel. We'll take, 20% of that million, but you'll get everything else. And without us, you would not have that Pepsi contract. So MCNs can be very beneficial for massive channels, but we're not a massive channel. And they make bank off these little channels like us that, you know, oh, I had $1,000 in revenue. Not really, because they're taking 200 of it. And they just make all the money off these little guys without doing any actual work to help me. So that's just the way it goes, and I'm sure that's what he was frustrated with. Like, he's a lot bigger, has a lot, you know, he already has to worry about demonetization, and when he's not demonetized, like when he puts out a video, you could tell when he's trying not to get demonetized, because he would put out a standalone video. You know, he doesn't do it often, but when he would put out a standalone video, you would notice a lot of times there was no swearing, no N-word use, right? He would really reserve himself so as to not have YouTube, you know, content claim it, and then he would get 200, 300, 400,000 views on that video, and that would be full ad revenue for him. But then to know someone else is taking a cut off the top for providing you nothing really hurts. So it probably did help him out initially. They're always really helpful initially, but once you get things figured out, you don't really need that help anymore. Like, I don't need BBTV to tell me how to make videos anymore. Or to help guide me in making my content. I can figure that out on my own now. But it's life. I haven't seen you play Fortnite, but if I die a lot, it could end in a mess. I die all the time. I die a ton. You might see me just because I'm like, okay, no more shots. I'm gonna I'm gonna go to like a desolate corner of the map and just play survival. Just play survival so I can give myself like a 10-minute break between a shot. Do you think we'll get a more traditional Hyrule in the next Zelda? The world seemed empty. I'm fine with the shrines, but perhaps a world that hasn't been destroyed. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what they're going to do next. It's supposed to be open world, but I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I honestly, at this point, for the first time, in my entire life that I've covered Zelda games, which is a long time, like 20 years, literally can't even guess what Nintendo's doing for the next Zelda. I just don't know. We're in uncharted territory. They basically rebooted the franchise of Breath of the Wild. They didn't literally reboot it, but they essentially rebooted the franchise. And now I don't know what's next. I honestly have no idea. So I can't even venture to guess. All I can tell you is what I would like to see. But what I would like to see is not the same as what I think will happen, because I don't know what will happen. Outside of being open world, I don't know what's going to happen. Nintendo should do a Wii Sports / Wii Sports Resort Deluxe. I don't know. I feel like they kind of killed Wii Sports with what they did on Wii U. It wasn't good. Like, yeah, it was good. Like, the games were still good, but like how they were charging it and how they delivered it was just weird. I think they basically killed the Wii Sports brand, if I'm being honest. Just my my thoughts on that. Do we have any more questions? Still got about 14 minutes here or so. Got my massive Mega Buddy that this is how I've been surviving today, is this giant Mega Buddy full of diet cherry Mountain Dew. Had a bunch of ice in it though, so it really wasn't that much, but it's all melted now. So now it's all watered down. Yeah. That's basically like cherry water. That's alright though. I don't know how my video did today. Since I'm just sitting here without you guys having any more questions. The chat has like completely died. I'm not used to being caught up to the chat, so this is like uncharted territory for me. Got like 758 views, so I should hit 1,000. Not sure if you stated this or not, but I'm grabbing Eevee. Let's go Eevee. What's my favorite game to play on Halloween? Yours is Super Mario RPG. I don't really have like a game I specifically play on Halloween, right? I just don't. It used to be like Resident Evil or something, but honestly, I don't really have a specific game. Like, I'll play horror games whenever. I don't really have a specific game. Now, like, maybe games that have events. Like, if I play Fortnite tonight and do like every time I die, I take a shot at Fortnite. It'll be one, entertaining, but two, it'll be also partially because they have a Halloween theme going on, and I like Halloween. Well, I'm here now. Maybe that's why. Maybe Carl. Who knows? Eevee or Pikachu? Which one are you going with? I already said it like twice now, but I'll say it for the third time. I am buying. Let's go Pikachu. Let's go Eevee. Comprende? Comprende. Comprende. Am I hungry? Advanced Media Network tweeted at me. Am I hungry? Oh my God. Is he about to send a bunch of pizzas to my P.O. box? Am I going to have to go downtown to my P.O. box and collect some pizzas that Advanced Media Network's about to send me? I am really hungry. I've hardly eaten today. Been kind of we're kind of low on the money right now for a little bit. Living on a mega super budget right now. Our kids aren't seeing the suffering. We're letting our kids, obviously. That's the thing. A lot of the food that we have in the house is specifically for the kids. So Yuli and I are kind of like, yeah, we'll have some toast. Some toast and water, please. That's all right. Eevee or Pikachu, I already said that. Live react to direct, that is the plan. My mom didn't get back to me. She's probably sleeping. We'll see if she was going to take Ollie tomorrow. The other kids will be at school. But I didn't get a response on her taking Ollie tomorrow. So she is sleeping, that means. So I'll talk to her in the morning. What's your prediction on where the Switch finishes its fiscal year at? Yours is 18.4 million. Do you just mean how many they're going to sell this fiscal year? Like not total numbers, right? Because they're already past 18.4. I mean, I think they'll finish between 17 and 18. I think they can hit 20 if the 4 games they have that can move systems do move systems. I just don't know if they're going to, but if they do, then absolutely they could beat their projection. But we'll see. Anything on the P.O. box yet? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't been there this week yet, though. I haven't been to the P.O. box yet this week. So as far as I'm aware, there's nothing there. But I don't actually know because I haven't actually gone downtown. I guess I could have checked today when I was downtown with the kids, but I haven't actually checked, so I don't know. I usually check it once a week, so I'll probably check it, I don't know, Friday, something like that. But as far as I'm aware, I don't have anything on the P.O. box. But again, I said, haven't been there. I check it once a week. Don't know that I've ordered, especially when I order something, I know something's coming in, but I haven't. The one thing, there's a product I want to order to review, and I haven't ordered that yet. When I do, obviously I'll be checking the P.O. box then, because I'll have it sent to the P.O. box. And I know you were talking about sending me something. I don't know why, crazy man, you. All right. Any other questions? We still have about 9 minutes here. 9 minutos before we end this. Might bounce back with that stream I was talking about with Fortnite. Meh. Matthews. Meh. Does this make you feel bad for trying to send me something? Yeah, I know, Origin. You want money from me so I can keep playing Madden. That's right. I can't even play Madden right now because I didn't pay my Origin bill. That's okay. I don't need to play Madden right now. I'm good on NBA for now. NBA 2K19 on Switch. I don't need to play any Madden for now. I can always re-up later. What are the chances the next Nintendo system is called the Nintendo Play-Doh? 0. 0. Absolutely 0 chances. Likelihood of Mario Odyssey DLC? I would love more from Mario. I think that's a really high. I think they weren't planning on it, and they decided to, and now we're going to get it sometime next year. So I think there will be some Mario Odyssey DLC in the first half of next year. So I'm going to go with like 90% chance we're getting Mario Odyssey DLC next year. Reason we didn't get it this year, they weren't originally going to make it any DLC, so it takes time to make it. Just hoping for a what's in the box type video. Nintendo Prime style. Yeah, we'll see. Got to have enough boxes, as you know. Enough things to open, as I said. But We'll see. I know I was trying to work out this deal with a t-shirt company. They might be sending me out some samples. And that might make it in that video, even though I know what it is. Right? Like, I'll know by touching the package, oh, that's some shirts. But it can make it in there because I don't know. I know what the designs are going to be, but I don't know how well they look. So I know I should have some of those coming here this month at some point. Knowing me, they probably won't. Knowing my luck, they won't be here for 2 weeks. Will the Nintendo play on launch Wii Music too? No. Who here has sent Nate stuff? Probably no one. Matthew, I guarantee you are the only person that has maybe possibly sent me something. Guaranteed. No one else has even asked about it. So, yeah. By the way, guys, I do have a fan mail P.O. box. It's in the description. If for some reason you want to send me a letter or some fan art or something, you know. I don't know why you would, but if you want to, the P.O. box does exist. It is public. Yes, that means you can find out what town I live in. Congrats. Nobody thought that the NX would be called the Switch. The Switch. Jeez, Devilish Fury. Last question. Doesn't have to be your last. We've still got 6 minutes. You think Animal Crossing will come early 2019? Yes. Well, no, let me start that. Animal Crossing is coming summer. It's coming in the summer. Like, I don't know. I don't have any sources on that. I'm just that confident Animal Crossing is landing next summer. It's going to be their Splatoon 2 game hitting in the summer. Send Nate some Bowsette art. If that's what you want to send me. Probably, well, it doesn't mean I can't show it on camera. But if it's explicit, I probably can't show it on camera. Or show all of it. Have to cover up certain parts. Doesn't really matter. As long as it's art you did and you're not just printing out someone else's art and stealing it. Because that's not cool. Even as a joke, that's not cool. Bum, 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 bum. Nintendo Play-Doh or Nintendo Pasta? I thought it was going to be called Nintendo Spaghetti. Give me that Nintendo Spaghetti. That was terrible. Terrible accent. I tell you, I suck at accents. I suck at accents. I was tagged in a memory. Oh, that's cute from 2 years ago. My kids on Halloween. So, I'll show you guys some pictures. There was Aiden 2 years ago. As you can't really see him that well because he's kind of covered up. But that was him as Olaf. This was my youngest, Ollie, as a ghost. He's not a baby anymore though. Obviously, he's a toddler now. Still wears diapers, trying to work on that potty training, failing at it. There you go. Here's a good picture of my son Aiden, and then my daughter Melody dressed as, I forget what she even was. I think she was like a strawberry or something. I don't know. My son this year, Aiden, was an astronaut. Ollie was Spider-Man. He wanted to be Spider-Man. And Melody was Poppy from Trolls. But I don't have any pictures, of course. Because Mama wasn't there. So since Mama wasn't there and it was Daddy doesn't do pictures. There is a picture of them in their costumes. My dad has it. I just have to get him to send it to me. But anyways. What's up, Neoxys? Some people were tagging me in memories of my kids on Halloween. Neoxys 0. Man, oh man, oh man. Bum 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 bum. All right. All right. Oh, little Matthew McConaughey there. We got 2 minutes left. Then this stream is kaput. Might bounce back with some shot Fortnite. We'll see. Haven't decided if I want to get crunked or not. I was taking some other stuff. Hold on. Had some other stuff on. That I was tagged in on. 1 second here. Sorry. I was just on my grandpa's obituary. It's pretty hard to read. Sorry, one second. I don't want to feel worse. Or did I miss him? Or for my grandma. She's such a sweet lady, and now she's going to be all alone. Like, not just family, but I mean, not in that way. Like, as a husband. Well, thanks. Now I have the funeral times for Monday. No one bothered to tell me. Just got yourself the Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Super excited for the game. It's everything I love, judging by the trailer. So can you tell me more on what you felt playing through it? I haven't beat it, so I'm only in like the first chapter or beginning of the second chapter, so I'm not even that far in. Tell you that it feels awesome and it feels really deep and it feels like there's a ton of content. And sorry, it's hard to think right now. And that's exactly why I haven't gotten further into it, is because I have so much going on. It's hard to find the time to deep dive into a game like that. But I enjoyed what I played of it. All right, that's going to do it for the Q&A today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll probably be back here in a little bit to do some shot Fortnite. Not going to be like a super long stream, especially if I suck really, really bad. Which I almost always suck really, really bad. But, you know, I'll have faith and hope that I don't suck as bad this time around. So I'll see you guys, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Peace out.